Welcome back to the channel, folks. Happy New Year as well. Hopefully this year is going to produce us with a lot more fish, a lot more adventures to go. So stay tuned, guys. For this episode, or in this episode, I'll be showing y'all how I will be using my Livescope Panoptix with our Garmin 93SV UHD monitor. So this is going to be our first time using it. I hope that you will find something useful or hear something useful from this episode. I'm hoping that I'm also able to show how a beginner uses this particular fish finder and how we dial in to the settings that will work for our kayak. So let's go ahead and catch some fish using our Livescope system. All right, we're back at the lake, folks. In this episode, I'll show you how I use my Garmin Panoptix Livescope system. It's pretty cold, so I apologize if I shiver and unable to speak clearly. But using my transducer mount here, make sure that you loosen this one up a little bit. Alright, set it up like that. And then we turn on the monitor. I'm told that if we turn on the monitor first before we put the transducer in there, or lower the transducer, it's gonna screw the compass a little bit. I'm not sure about that, but best practice, I'll just do exactly what I've seen, at least in some of the YouTube videos. Now the map is loading, the application is loading at this point. So there are a few things that we need to keep in mind when we're using this GPS system with the Panoptix Livescope. First is, we want to make sure that we understand what our range is. That's our casting range. So from 0, this is where we're at. At 0, that's kind of the point of view of the boat. Forward casting, about 5, 10, 15, and this goes up to, I think, about 90 feet. And then the second item to consider and make note of is the depth range. That's how deep the water is. It's from 4 feet, from 1 foot up to 10 feet right now. And we can all adjust that using our dashboard here. You can adjust the depth, increase that. So depending on where you're fishing or the situation you're in, that's how you will have to continuously make the adjustment. And your forward range, 35, 40. Okay. So at first, I'd like to set it up for maybe about 70 right now. Okay. And then deep, how deep it is. Back. So we're about 18 feet right now, but we're in a low, shallow water. We're at 4 feet, so that's why you can see the image showing like that. But we'll find a much deeper spot so y'all can see what I'm talking about. So the orientation of this is wherever I'm pointing the transducer, or 20 foot wide, and that's the cone of projection. So wherever I point it, that's where it would project that cone. And that's what you'll see here in this monitor. Okay. So we talked about the forward range, we talked about the depth. Those are pretty much the easiest few items And then the third item would be the gain. So right now the gain is at 63%. I think I'll put that to 70%, 68%. And that pretty much shows you how bright the images are. If the gain is above that range, it becomes brighter and it's hard to see the objects, particularly the fish that you're trying to spot. So that's gain. See some brush pile here. So you can see they're about 30-40 feet right now. So we'll go close to that particular area. With this cold weather, highs of 30s right now, I'm sure that the fish are pretty much dormant. They're in their shaded area, their comfort zone, which is in the tree stump, structure, any solid structure, and then brush piles. I can see a brush pile right there in about 20 feet of water. We'll head out there close and get closer here. So I can see them piling up right there. So as I get closer, I'll adjust the range so that the images will get much clearer and bigger. It's about 15 feet of water right now. There's some more brush pile, and we're about 6 feet deep at this point. See, that looks like a structure or something. But anyway, you can see the fish. They're glowing bright, and they're moving, of course. This is a problem without the spot lock system. You know, we have to battle the constant wind. See right there, I see a lot of them are like piled up in this spot. About 20 feet right there. And about 15 feet of water. See, those are fish. In fact, there's a fish right there. Pretty sure they're crappie. That's what we're going to target. This Panoptix Livescope system is very effective for fishing crappie, especially trying to find them in this current windy and cold conditions. All you have to do is just look for brush piles, because they'll be there in that same spot, pretty much dormant. The other thing to consider is setting the TVG, I think that's the transvisual gain or something, to off at this point. We're not using that. We're also using another setting called the noise. Currently the noise is set to low. The noise is for you to be able to remove any unwanted objects from your screen. That's a good pile right there. There's a bunch of them right there. That's another setting that you need to consider. So noise, depth range, forward range, TVG, and then gain. Those 5 things are the things that you'd have to dial in correctly. And again, it changes per situation, per fishing situation that you're in. The lake or the river water system or river system that you're in, it has to be constantly adjusted. Your setting has to be constantly adjusted. Thank goodness for our dashboard here. It allows us to do that without hitting a few more buttons. It just is in front of you and you can just adjust it however you want. There! Finally a fish, folks. Got that in camera, hopefully. Finally a fish. Finally a crappie. Oh, got that in camera. I hope the camera is rolling right at the night. Same spot. Small crappie. There you go. Finally we got out in film. I hope. That was tough. There's a fish. Got a fish. Look at that, guys. It's a bigger fish. Same area where I got the other one. Look. He's coming up. He's coming up. The bigger fish. Another white crappie. All those hungry crappies are in that same area. It's about 10 inches. But I'm not keeping any fish right now. But a lot of the fish that are biting are all in that same spot. I just let it drag. We had to put the bait right in front of them before they start biting. They're not mobile really. They're not wandering around. They're just in one spot in that brush pile. And if they see the bait and it interests them, they'll bite it. Otherwise, good luck. So again, wherever your transducer is pointing, it's projecting that cone of projection. And right now, our forward range is about 25 feet. Our depth is about 20 feet. And that's where I think the fish are. See all that? I'm hoping that they'll start biting. There you go. That's a better fish. That's the best fish that we had. Hopefully you all saw that. Hopefully you all saw that. That's a fish. The best crappie. Another white crappie. They're about the same size. About 9-10 inches. There, saw y'all. Good. I hope you all saw that actual bite. It's got to be in the front of their faces before they'll start biting. But it's been tough, guys. That's so far our third fish of the day, despite the fact that we have this very cool device. Livescope Panoptix is still hard to let the fish really bite our bait unless it's right in front of them. It does give us an edge having this particular device because you can see where they're at, where they're all congregating, but it's all up to them to bite the bait or not. And so far it's very few and far between. That's just how it is, man. How fishing is. Crossing that brush pile area. There's another fish. Another fish. Another fish caught live on a Livescope camera. They're all about the same size. I mean, this is bigger, I think, by far. What I'm saying is that it's gotta be right in front of them before they'll start biting it, or else it's gonna be a tough time. But it's gonna get better when it warms up, for sure. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed that video of me showing you how I used and dialed in the settings for my Livescope Panoptix system. It is quite new. It's a big lesson learned for me, a big adjustment, and I hope we'll be an expert on how to use it one day. So hopefully you're able to get some pointers, a few pointers that you can use when you buy something like that for your kayak. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so yet, please hit the like, subscribe, and share buttons so that you'll get all the latest updates from my YouTube channel, Kayak Fishing Vlog. And hopefully, you can share that with your families and friends as well. Until next time, bye for now.